Everything's properly mounted, secured. Nothing's cracked, damaged, or loose. Lights, lenses, reflectors are proper color, proper working condition, and clean. Headlights and turn signals properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose. Proper color, proper working condition, and clean. Looking under the truck for any leaks. Looking for the truck to be leaning to either side, which would indicate a suspension or a tire problem. Y'all like this up? General overview of the passenger side. Everything's properly mounted, secured. Nothing's cracked, damaged, or loose. None of my hoses have any abrasions, bumps, cuts, or leaks. All right. Coolant reservoir, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. It's filled to the proper level. Cap is present. Radiator, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. My lower radiator hose is properly mounted, secured. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts, or no leaks. The water pump, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. It's belt driven. No more than 3/4 of an inch play on the belt. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts on the belt. Windshield washer fluid reservoir, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Filled to the proper level. Cap is present. Exhaust, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Signs of leaking would be black soot around any clamps, cracks, or holes. General overview on the driver's side. Everything seems to be properly mounted, secured. Nothing cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts on any of my hoses. Check my upper radiator hose, properly mounted, secured. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts, no leaks. This side of my radiator is properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. All right, my alternator is properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose. It's belt driven. No more than 3/4 inch play. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts on the belt. Below it is my power steering pump, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Same belt. Check it the same way. Air compressor in the back is properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose. It's not leaking. It is gear driven. Oil fill tube and dipstick, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. The cap is present. To check it, you pull the dipstick, wipe it, reinsert it, pull it back out, and read it. If it says low, you need to add at least a gallon. Power steering fluid reservoir, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Filled to the proper level, and the cap is present. Power steering hoses, properly mounted, secured. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and they're not leaking. Power steering gearbox, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Pitman arm, drag link, steering arm, steering knuckle, and tie rod is all properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose. Nothing is bent. And all my castle nuts and cotter pins are present. All right, suspension. Leaf spring hanger, leaf springs, 2 U-bolts, bump stop, and shackle in the back is properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. You can have no more than 1/4 of a leaf missing. Your hydraulic shock with the upper and lower shock mounts, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking since it's a hydraulic shock. Your upper and lower mounts have rubber bushings on them, so no abrasions, bumps, or cuts on that. On to brakes. Our airline and ABS, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts. They're not leaking. Brake chamber clamp is properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Your slack adjuster and your push rod is properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. To check it, release the brakes with the wheels chocked. Pull the slack adjuster. No more than 1 inch of play. Our brake drum, brake pads, and brake shoes are all properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your pads aren't dangerously thin. Your drum has no cracks more than half the friction area. There's no oil or grease in there that could cause a fire. Your inner wheel, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. It's free from any grease and no illegal welds. Sidewall, properly mounted, secured with a sealed bead all the way around the wheel. No abrasions, bumps, cuts, or illegal patches. Tread, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts. No illegal patches. The minimum depth is 4/32 on the steers. Has to be a virgin radial. Can't be a recap or a retread. Outer sidewall, properly mounted, secured with a sealed bead all the way around the wheel. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts. No illegal patches. Outer wheel, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. No illegal welds. Lug nuts, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. Signs of them being loose on a steel wheel would be rust streaks or shiny metal shavings or shiny threads on the studs. Wheel hub seal, properly mounted, secured. Not cracked, damaged, or loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts on the seal itself. Check it. You look in. If you can see oil or if you can touch oil, you're good. If not, you need to add. All right, next is your metal valve stem and metal valve stem cap, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Check it with a tire gauge. Got 100 psi minimum, and there are no leaks. All right, coming down the side, the door mirror is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. All right, there's no illegal stickers. Your door glass and door is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. You can check your hinges here and here. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Lights, lenses, reflectors, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Proper color, proper working condition, and they're clean. Door opens properly. You can check your inner hinges in here. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your weather seal, properly mounted, secured, no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. The door closes properly. The steps, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, free from any debris. Fuel tank, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. You got metal DOT straps with rubber pads, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts. They're not causing any leaks. Fuel cap, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. It has a safety chain on the inside and a rubber seal, and has no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. You want to step back and look underneath, make sure there's no leaks. Going to the rear of the tractor. General overview of the back of the cab or the bulkhead. Properly mounted, secured, nothing's cracked, damaged, or loose. All right, start with my exhaust. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. My frame rail, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No illegal welds. All my bolts are present. Cross members are all properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Catwalk and steps, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, free from any debris. Glad hands and airlines. All right. Your airlines start where they're piped into the tractor, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your lines themselves have no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. They're not leaking. When you're hooked up, you're going to check your glad hands, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. The rubber seals have no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. When it's hooked up, it's not leaking. Check both of them the same way. All right, with our electrical, safety cap is in place. Pigtail is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. There's no debris in the pin holes. Inside, all 7 pins are present. When it's plugged in, it's properly mounted and secured. No abrasions, bumps, and cuts on your electrical line at all. When it's hooked up to the trailer, it needs to be 6 to 8 inches up off the catwalk. Sliding tandem, sliding fifth wheel rail or track, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. All mounting bolts are in place. Slider or locking pins, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose in the lock position. Pull pin, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. When you're hooked up, it'll be slid in the lock position. Skid plate, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. It's properly greased. When you're hooked up, there should be no daylight between the apron and the skid plate. Fifth wheel platform, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Brakes. Wait a minute. Drive shaft and universal joints, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your universal joints are have no excessive wear and no debris. All right, your brake chamber clamp, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. It's not leaking. Your air lines and ABS wires, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and not leaking. Slack adjuster and push rod in the back is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Check it the same as on the front. Chuck the wheels, release the brakes, no more than an inch of play. Brake drum, pad, and shoes, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. There's no excessive wear, no oil or grease. Your pads aren't dangerously thin, no cracks more than half the friction area on your drum. All right, moving on to suspension. Got our leaf spring hanger. Our leaf springs are 2 U-bolts and spacer. It's all properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No more than 1/4 of any leaf can be missing. All right, in the back we have a hydraulic shock, upper and lower shock mounts with rubber bushings, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts on the bushings, and the shock is not leaking. Behind it is the airbag, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts on the airbag, and it is not leaking. Wheels and tires. Your inner wheel, both sides, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. There's no illegal welds. All right, there's no oil or grease on the inside. Your inner sidewalls, properly mounted, secure, but no seal bead around the wheel. They're not leaking. No abrasions, bumps, cuts, or illegal patches on your sidewall. Tread, you can have recaps, you can have plugs, you can have patches. Tread depth, a minimum of 2 30-seconds back here. Your two tires have to match in size and type. They can be different brands. All right, your outer wheel. Both sides are properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, no illegal welds. Your side walls, properly mounted secured with a seal bead around the tire, or around the wheel. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and no illegal patches. Your two wheels must butt up together with no space in between, and your two tires need at least 3 fingers or 3 inches of space. And you're also looking for any debris in there. Coming around to the outside, lug nuts, all properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Signs of them being loose, same as on the front, rust streaks, metal shavings, or shiny threads. 2 metal valve stem caps, metal valve stems and caps, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, not leaking. 100 psi, check it with a gauge. Sealed hub, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Mud flap and mud flap hanger, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your mud flap's not dragging the ground. Tail lights, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Proper color, proper working condition, and they're clean. All right, you've got your differential and your axles, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose, not leaking. Your torque bar, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. The bushings on both sides have no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. Your locking jaws inside of your fifth wheel, when you're backed up under your trailer and hooked up, they will be locked around the shank portion of the kingpin. You can check them then. General overview of the bulkhead of the trailer. Everything seems to be properly mounted secured. Nothing's cracked, damaged, or loose. Starting at the top, your lights, lenses, reflectors have to be proper color, proper working condition, and clean. No holes or patches we have to worry about. All right, our glad hand connections, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your rubber seals have no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. When you're hooked up, they're not leaking. Electrical, same as the other side. Safety cap is present with the latch. All 7 pins are properly mounted secured. The other end of your pigtail, you check it for any debris in the holes. All right, your side skirt, apron, and kingpin are all properly mounted secured. Nothing's cracked, damaged, or loose. All right, your kingpin is not bent. When you're hooked up, like I said, the locking jaws will lock around the shank portion of your kingpin. General overview down the side. Everything seems to be properly mounted secured, nothing cracked, damaged, or loose. All right, if you have lights, lenses, reflectors across the top, start there. Properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Everything is proper color, proper working condition, and clean. DLT reflective tape, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Runs at least 100 or 50% of the length of the trailer. Back here, past the apron, we start checking our cross members. Everything's properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Landing gear, a handle, vertical bracing, and cross member and feet are properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your handle's in the stow position. When you're hooked up, your feet should be fully raised, and there should also be no debris on your feet. All right, coming on down, we're still checking our tape and cross members all the way down. Lights, lenses, and reflectors, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, loose. Proper color, proper working condition, and clean. Under here, we check our air lines first. Properly mounted secured, no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. They're not leaking. Tandem slide rail, locking pin, release handle, and frame is all properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your pin and handle is in the lock position. Okay, down here our brakes are the same as on the rear of the tractor. Air lines and ABS properly mounted secured with no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. They're not leaking. Brake chamber and clamp properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. Slack adjuster and push rod properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Check it the same way. Chock the wheels, release the brakes, no more than 1 inch of play on your slack adjuster. Brake pads, drums, and shoes properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Your pads aren't dangerously thin, no cracks more than half the friction area of your drum, no oil or grease that could cause a fire. On this truck, it's an air ride truck, so you have a hydraulic shock. Upper and lower shock mounts properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, or leaking. All right, the rubber bushings on the upper and lower mount have no abrasions, bumps, or cuts. You also have airbags on this truck. Properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, no abrasions, bumps, or cuts, and they're not leaking. All right, coming on out, your wheels and tires, same as on the rear of the tractor. Your inner wheel, properly mounted secured, not cracked, damaged, loose, no illegal welds. All right, your inner sidewalls, properly mounted secured, but seal bead around the wheels. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts, or illegal patches. They're not leaking. Tread, you can't have recaps, you can't have plugs, you can have patches. 2 30 seconds minimum, same size, same type. Outer wheel, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No illegal welds. All right. Outer sidewalls, same thing, properly mounted, secured with a seal bead around the wheel. No abrasions, bumps, cuts, or illegal patches, and neither of your tires are leaking. Tread, same as this one, 2/32. You can have recaps, can have plugs, can have patches. All right, same size, same type, can be different brands. Right here, your two metal valve stems are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. They have metal caps, they're not leaking. Check them with a tire gauge. Yeah. Lug nuts, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, loose. All right, signs of looseness will be the same thing. Rust streaks or shiny metal shavings or shiny threads. Hub oil seal, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. No abrasions, bumps, or cuts on the seal itself, and it's not leaking. All right, I check this axle the same as I check this one. Mud flap hanger, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. It's not dragging the ground. Go checking my tape and the cross members all the way down. ABS light, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Proper working condition, and it's clean, proper color. Rear of the trailer, general overview. Everything seems to be properly mounted, secured, nothing cracked, damaged, or loose. Lights, lenses, reflectors, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Proper color, proper working condition, and they're clean. Hinges, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Latch poles and locks, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. DOT reflective tape, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Has to cover 100% of the width. Tail lights, turn signals, and brake lights, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. Proper color, proper working condition, and they're clean. DOT bumper with more reflective tape, properly mounted, secured, not cracked, damaged, or loose. And I would check the passenger side the same as I check the driver's side. The end.